So today I want to talk about the victim mentality mindset versus the creator mindset. When I was growing up, well, most of my adult life, I had the victim mentality mindset. The only language that I really spoke was victimese, right? Like I was a victim of everything that was happening around me. um, I had so many issues, or so I thought, right? Like, I had an issue with my job, I had an issue with my girlfriend, I had an issue with my kids, I had an issue with just everything, right? Well, what I've learned is that the word issue literally means it's you, meaning it was me. I was my biggest problem. Everything that's outside of me was not my problem. And I promise you, no one is holding you back from your goals more than you are holding yourself back from accomplishing whatever it is that you want to accomplish. I held myself back for like 20 years of my life because I was continually blaming everybody else for my problems. Honestly, like if I lied to you, it was your fault. If I stole from you, you shouldn't have left it there. If I quit my job, it was the job's fault. Like nothing was my fault. Everything was everybody else's fault, right? And here's the thing, like I promise you, like if like you're in a relationship or something, well, we're all in relationships with our jobs, with our spouses, or with our girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever have you, right? But like, if you're waiting on something outside of you to change so that way you can live the life that you desire, you're going to be waiting a long time. If you're waiting for the government to make new changes, or if you're waiting for God knows whatever it is that you're waiting for, if you're waiting for something outside of you to change so that way you can become the person that you want to become, you're never going to become the person that you want to become. So we have to start looking within, right? So how do we switch over from the victim mentality to a creator mindset? Well, first of all, we need to realize that we're in this victim mentality mindset. And how can we realize this? We can see, you know, are we blaming people? Are we criticizing other people? Are we judging other people? Are we around people that bicker and complain and gossip all the time? Like these are very good indications that we're a victim, right? Like people that bicker and complain and gossip all the time are so focused on what's going outside of them that they can't see what's coming outside. They cannot see what's coming from inside of them, right? So we got to draw boundaries around our lives, and we got to start taking accountability and responsibility to start creating the life that we want, right? So how do we become accountable? We start taking account for everything that we do, right? We start becoming intentional about all the things that we're doing, okay? That, like accounting, accountable, right? Start focusing daily on, am I praying? Am I meditating? Am I reading? Am I exercising? Am I saving money? Am I tithing? Start tracking all the things that you're doing. And then start taking responsibility. Well, what does that mean? Responsibility means respond with ability. So you can't respond with ability if you lack ability. So you have to get new tools so that way you can have the ability to respond appropriately, or you're going to be just continually reacting to everything that happens around you, right? So it is also important to create boundaries for yourself. Why is that important? Because you're never going to change what you're willing to tolerate. And to say that another way, chaos and dysfunction always rises to a level which you're willing to tolerate. So if you don't separate yourselves from other people's chaos, right? Like you're going to be inviting chaos into your life. So it's very important to put up walls and barriers for your peace of mind, your serenity, right? To keep you out of everyone else's chaos. People that want to borrow money, or they want to live on your couch, or people that just want to call you and talk about their problems or talk about someone else's problems. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That ain't none of your business. All right? I want to read one of these scriptures to you about owning responsibility. All right? And the verse is Galatians 6:4. It says, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. Listen, we are all running our own race. There is no competition. The only person that I need to compete with is myself. And by doing so, I'm taking my mind off all the other distractions. I'll be honest, like, I struggle with Facebook and Instagram at some seasons, right, of my life, because it keeps me distracted on what everybody else is doing and takes me away from the things that'll move the needle in my favor, right? So the less I'm distracted, the more intentional I can be about creating the life that I truly desire. And so it's important to result back to those boundaries I'm talking about. So that way I'm not going to be victimized by the decisions that I'm making, right? Like, stop being a victim. Stop blaming everything else and everyone around you for all the things that are going wrong in your life, and start becoming a person that is creating the life that they desire. I mean, think about it. If you're living in a reality that you don't like, right? Like, you created that reality. And if you live in a reality that you do enjoy being a part of, you created that reality too. Like, things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. And when you understand that and you move away from blaming the circumstance and start taking control of the circumstance, you'll start creating whatever it is that you truly desire. And by default, if you choose to stay in fear or anxiety, which anxiety is having, it feels like fear, but it's being worried about an undesirable future result, right? Like, only tend your thoughts to desirable outcomes. There's a verse in the Bible that says, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to abundance. Think about only abundance. Start thinking about the things that you're thinking about, and you'll become a person that creates a life that you want to have. I hope this video blesses you. Until next week, my friends, take care.